What is going on? I'm zmoT, also known as Anon Moose, also known as Sick Whiny Guy. Today, gotta say, just don't like being sick, but that's not your problem. Warships is done as we talked about yesterday. Today is kind of that lull. People are noticing that intel numbers are down ever so slightly, which is not super awesome. Should still be doable for most task forces, but definitely a little bit of a dip. So we're going to do Dr. T of the volcanic variety, which, to be fair, has gotten a bit tougher of late with the new levels, which is kind of nice. There's a bit of discussion on Discord today about how everything in Boom Beach has gotten fairly easy, especially for max level players. Lots and lots of bonuses for offensive players, not so much for defensive players. We've gotten heroes and extra abilities, and I don't think defensive players have gotten all that much. So let me know, would you prefer bases to be hard or easy? Personally, I like a nice mixture, and I find that below like even 1200 VP, bases are all pretty much easy. I know a lot of people complain about statues and say, oh, you're dumb if you have green statues or blue statues or whatever it might be. But at the same time, if everyone was all offense, the game would just be a complete and utter boring disgustingness. So those players out there who have ice statues or even green statues, I don't necessarily agree with your playstyle. I don't agree with it at all for the most part, but you do mix up and add some spice to the game, so thank you for that. And now, level 2, for low-level players who are just trying to grind out some power stones, some fragments and things, rocket launchers galore on stages 1 and 2 will be a little bit difficult for sure. So you players who don't have smoke just hate seeing rocket launchers on those early levels. I've been getting, I wouldn't say grief, but a couple of you have noticed that I haven't been playing my low level as much. My apologies for that. I've just been enjoying my max level a bit more lately, I suppose, but I should be doing a map clear soon on my lower level. I've actually got another slightly lower account that is in our Novice 9 task force. For those of you looking for a task force, I don't know if we have room or not, but always check the description of my videos because I put a whole bunch of stuff in there. I've done contests in there. I've done lots and lots of good stuff, and I like to put details in there for those of you who like to read. Generally speaking, you don't even have to watch my videos. If you're short on time, I try to put all of the juicy bits into the description where I possibly can. And the goal for that, especially for things like sneak peeks and stuff like that, if you're just looking for the straight up details, like how much damage the new level of zookas do or whatever it might be, the description is always a good place to look. Because I realize not everyone likes to read or watch. That some people like to just quickly read as opposed to watching a 10-minute video or whatever it might be. And I haven't stated it in a while, but the whole entire purpose and goal of this channel is just to do things that I find to be useful and not annoying. That's why I try not to have like flashy things on the screen or like a 15-second long intro or anything like that. So if there's something about the channel that bothers you or annoys you, let me know, because it probably bothers and annoys me as well, and I'm happy to try to improve at all times. So speaking of improving, the audio and video right now should be better than it's been in forever. I know I keep harping on that, but I really like to get your feedback. So if you don't notice anything, that's great. If it looks worse, that's terrible. But if it looks better, please do let me know. Because again, just always trying to improve, which I know can get a little bit annoying. And that's all I talk about at times. But I really am enjoying it because I got a new laptop, like I said, and not having to listen to my fan just scream at me all day, every day is just so. My old one was fairly quick, but just encoding things for YouTube takes up so much processor, and that processor just wasn't keeping up. So new work laptop, home laptop, nice. It's actually really pretty. It's the Surface Laptop 3, the 13.5 inch, very small, very light, very metal, and liking it a lot. working on a laptop, not nearly as ideal as working on a desktop, obviously, just based on the sheer performance numbers. But for me, it works and does what I need to do. Unlike my voice at the moment. Can we get, need to get a smoky smoke into there. Now let's get walking. New microphone also set up, and I gotta say, not super comfortable at my desk at the moment. I need to work on my setup. New microphone, new location, all that sort of jazz, and all that jazz. Need to get some jazz hands going. Anyways, we are going to hit this core with 2 shocks. We have enough for 3, so we might as well shock 3 things just to be on the safe side. 1, 2, and 3, and that should be a very, very easy stage 5 for any of you using smoke. By the way, yesterday I cleared my HQ15 accounts map using only Everspark. So if you are HQ15 or so, consider using Everspark. I just used GBE to clear a hole, sent Everspark back there, and her and her critters just wrecked bases. At the HQ15 level, a lot of bases don't worry about anything from behind at all. So that was a really, really easy way to clear map that I'd never really done before. Not using her explosive charge. I was actually using her universal remote, and at one point I had a boom cannon just wrecking their own headquarters, which is always a bit... we gotta retreat. Let's retreat before we lose some of those troops, because that smoke right there was a little bit too high, a little bit too far right. You can see I was covering. You gotta be careful. You don't want to throw a smoke and cover a spot that's outside of that little box right there, because it's just wasting space. Let's get a barrage captain in the house. Even just the intel numbers, by the way, I am a little bit missing warships. I gotta say, it was that like little time waster that was in between things where I don't really feel like clearing map, but I'd like to get a little bit of intel for the task force and waste a little bit of time. And I found that I have kind of sort of switched to Brawl Stars at the moment, now that there's no warships in there. By the way, creator code. I do have a creator code for any of you who play Brawl Stars or Clash of Clans or any other Supercell game except for Boom Beach. I think my creator code is zmoT, zmoT. So if you are feeling generous and would like to support the channel, do go ahead and throw that in the creator code area. And I'll get a nickel or so every week or month or whatever it might be. 2 crystals for doing stage 6. Like that a lot. See that creator? Supercell always knows when to reward you for doing something. So creator code zmoT. Not gonna blast that everywhere, but if you happen to want to do that, that'd be swell. We're gonna go wide left on that. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 24 free GBE over there. I don't think that machine gun's going to be a problem, so we're just going to try to figure out where to start our walk from. And I'm going to start right even with that flamethrower, right with the left edge of that flamethrower. Going to lose a couple zookas to that boom cannon, maybe even only actually 1, 2, there we go. And then we're going to get all the way back into this corner. And no smoke landing, always a bonus, especially on stage 7 where things start to get a little bit tough. And then we should be able to walk that back wall. Our troops should follow not the defenses, the boxes, and just walk into that corner. Then we're going to quickly do a little pause before we get to that last one, throw some smoke, and hopefully get back behind the core with all sorts of GBE. Probably should check. We need to get 1 shock, 2 shocks, 3 shocks. 4 shocks would be ideal, I think. And as soon as that last box goes down, I'm going to drop a smoke and get right into that corner, hopefully before that rocket launcher. Okay, not bad at all. Just using that last cell, or what's it called, like Omnis Hatch or something. I don't know what those... I used to know all of those. By the way, if you have never played it, I actually built a Discord trivia bot that has all sorts of Boom Beach trivia. It's fairly awesome. That was a long time ago. So if you've never played it, please do check it out on the Boom Beach official Discord. Look at this. It's gonna go stage 7 in 1 attempt, which has never happened in the history of recent. I feel like stage 6 and 7 has been fairly difficult of late. So take that all down in one attack each is always a nice bonus. Just means that anyone who's out there who's HQ 18, 19, 20 should be able to take down stage 7. Pick up those extra crystals. Look at this. What do we get for resources? We got 1 shard, 1 frag, but some intel. Look at this. Shards everywhere, except for there. Shards, intel. Great rewards from stage 6 and stage 7, obviously. So if you do nothing else, take down Dr. T. Your task force will thank you for it. Also, make sure you send your submarine out. I always forget to do that. Otherwise, that's it for me. Super quick one today. I'm going away for work getaway. It's actually just a work trip where I have to do a whole bunch of extra work tomorrow until Sunday. So I probably, possibly won't be available. We'll try to do War Factory from the ferry or something. But if you don't hear from me, I'm still alive. Just actually works out well. The Warships season is kind of in the bit of a gap right now because I got to go do some work. Hopefully the Mega Crab Shadow shows up soon. I assume it should be here in about 5 hours time. I think it shows up at about midnight UTC. That's it for me. Creator code zmoT. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and more importantly, comment, and I shall talk to you later. Thanks for coming in. I'm zmoT. Peace.